え？プリムラさん、若い子はもっと自分を大切にしなくては。こんなおっさんなんかに興味持っちゃ。
またです。
座ってください。申し訳ありませんが、この件は保留にしておいてください。
Old man Kenichi, get it in. Let's go. Okay, this was episode number 3 of Daily Life, and I have not been shy about telling you guys how much I just adore this show. And you know, of course, it's with the understanding that it's not for everybody. It's really silly. It's really out there. This dude can basically conjure up anything from the real world as long as he has money. He's an old dude. He's just trying to live a quaint, easy life, and he does a lot of things to really push the envelope, right? He has solar panels that are just sitting out there. He has like a crane and all kinds of equipment and stuff, and he's just like, it's magic, and they just go, okay then. You know what I mean? So he definitely pushes the boundaries a lot, and it's not exactly realistic, but at the same time, it's still really enjoyable. And this episode felt like a really long episode at the end of it, and there's usually one of two scenarios. It's either the episode just feels like, okay, yeah, that was a 20-minute episode, or it feels really long or feels really short. And when both of those two things happen, they can be both good and bad things. But in this case, I feel like this covered a lot of ground. It reintroduced us to the purple or blue hair little girl who's, she's in the ED, so she's probably going to be really prevalent sometime, right? Just like this episode, how you say the Bobcat, he's probably going to save this little girl. Will she see him as a father figure? Will he... it looks like he might pawn her off to the old lady, that he has his stand mate or whatever you call it, the lady who has the store next to him. Again, I'm just speculating literally based off the ED of what I saw. But it looks like he comes across her, at some point. The episode showed her again, showed her she was working for like bandits or something. Showed the bandits got assigned some kind of assignment. My guess is that the bandits have been assigned to go and our boy. That's my guess. It could just be something else. Maybe they're supposed to go after. I think her name's Prim or whatever, the daughter or the mellow trader or something like that. We'll see what ends up actually happening. It's either that they got assigned to go after him, or they got assigned to go after blonde hair girl and or her dad and or that company, and maybe he gets involved somehow. Again, pure speculation. I have no freaking idea. I'm just saying these are the two or three avenues that I could see happening, where Kenichi gets involved and then he stumbles upon the blue hair girl. Because if she's that important, they're showing it to us. They show us that they got some kind of assignment. We know he's going to come across these dudes, or at least the girl, in some way, shape, or form. And I assume it's because they got assigned some kind of mission or something like that to somebody, right? So that's my guess. I'm going to stick with it. We'll see what ends up happening next episode, or maybe the episode after. Next episode is called Adventures. Kenichi has 8 allies. We could very well not see the little girl come to fruition for an episode or 2 more. We could get something next episode. I don't know. But there was that portion of it, which, took up probably not that much time, but it felt like a decent chunk of time. And then we have the original scenario, or the beginning scenario with the Bobcat. And apparently the Bobcat is like a messenger of God or something like that. And there was a scene there as well where Kenichi is sleeping, and he has like a dream thing, and like the Bobcat is like a lady. So there's a chance that it is a messenger of God, and the lady is the God that's kind of like watching over Kenichi in a way. Again, it's pure speculation, but he saved the Bobcat this episode, and then with the purple hair beast girl, he had relations with her once again. I'm sure that is an interesting feline thing. For me, if I think about myself, in other words, I'm allergic to cats, like legitimately, like deathly allergic. Unless that gets cured upon being isekai, I would probably be allergic to this lady, to this girl or whatever. But he has relationships with this kitty cat again. He said goodbye to his the inn girl, the inn lady, the inn girl that he's been having relations with. He said bye to her. She was really sad. I'm like, what a dick. Like, you don't realize that she's like really heartbroken over the fact that you're just dipping out. Like, come on, get your girl. You know what I mean? So that happened the beginning of the episode. And then it transitioned into him with the Mallow Trader daughter. Again, I think her name's Prim. It could be something else. You can let me know in the comments. But he has, she comes over and she's like, I'm going to come stay with you. And he's like, what do you mean? And he shows her a bath and bathrobes and towels and nightwear. And, she's very flirtatious, but also very business oriented. She takes a bath, all that stuff. We get a little bit of her in the bath as fan service. We get to see him working with the Mallow Trading Company, which is cool. And then she comes over and stays again, and she makes it very clear now that she's like, I want to try that sexy stuff, that sexy outerwear for you. And he has a whole, not monologue, but he has a whole dialogue with her, which I really sympathize with. I think he's 40. I'm not that far off, unfortunately, from that. So I kind of felt it in my bones of if he had this little girl who's 18 or 20 or whatever she happens to be, I would probably take the same stance of what do you me? What are you looking for in me? I'm just some old dude who covers anime on YouTube. Would you go? You can go do better. So I really resonated with that conversation he had, and he was like, okay. I like how he just goes, okay. He's like, let's table this for now. Let's come back later. He's like, I gotta talk to your dad, and she's like, my dad's fine with it. He's like, okay, I'm gonna talk to him anyways. And I was like, that really resonated with me, because typically, me, I'm all, if you don't know me, I'm, on the channel, I'm all about if you're gonna be in another world, enjoy all the pleasures of another world. But the fact that he went to this other world and he was still he's still the same age, he's still this old dude. I'm just damn, if I got isekai to another world and I was still the same age, yeah, I probably wouldn't exactly be all over the barely legal, stuff. I would find folks, that are of similar age as one would do, or at least I would imagine. So it really resonated with me, and I laughed a bit at that too, because I was I totally get it, So I love that he was mature about it, of course. I love how he doesn't overreact when he sees her body stuff. He's like, hey. He's like, cover up. I was like, that is such refreshing. It's such a refreshing thing to see, because I covered an anime yesterday or day before yesterday about another one where same scenario, old dude gets isekai to another world, right? I think it's the Alchemist anime. I don't really remember. It's one of the animes that's in this season. But this old 30-plus-year-old dude gets isekai to another world as a younger dude. Not super young, but as a younger dude, he has a younger body now. And when he sees a girl, he didn't even see a girl, they just mentioned that they might show a little cleavage or something. He just ran out of the room and was crying, oh, I can't believe it, just so so seeing Kenichi here being able to see more than one woman's body and be respectful, have relations, but then be respectful about it, not be overreactive, because if you're old, especially it's not something, even if you're not old, it's when you see it, you're oh, hey, sorry about that, you're oh, I didn't mean to there or whatever, but being nobody does that. So it's just so refreshing to see, and I was like, that's how you handle it. And other anime writers, creators, take note. So anyways, I really love that quite a bit. So anyways, if you can't tell from my language and everything, I love this episode. I thought it was really fun. It was a really entertaining time. This was an 8 out of 10 episode. Really great so far this season. Definitely for me, one of the gems and just the lights of the season so far. I look forward to watching it, and I can report 3 episodes in. I have no real negativity to say. Now, I'm giving it 8 out of 10 just because it's not going to win anime awards. It's not the best thing. It's a little unrealistic. Kenichi is doing way more than he should, and you can find fault in it, but the fact that they introduced all those things, including a potential other summoned person, other hero in Empire as well. So it also introduced that. This episode did a lot. So I'm loving it right now. So yeah, let me know what you guys thought about this episode down in the comments below, my friends, and I'll see you guys next week. Peace.